Hey there, Lisa here. Welcome to my channel. I hope you'll join me in my love of crafting and DIYs and hit that subscribe button. This is one of my favorite collabs, and I'm so glad that I got a project done for it. So this is the third Thursday Thrift Flips, and this is hosted each month by Rustic Chicks Design and the Rusted Willow, and this month's co-host is Loli D's Creations. All of these lovely ladies' channels will be linked in my description box, so check them out. So I got these two matching drawers free at a garage sale, and I decided I wanted to make a jewelry display out of them. So first I cleaned them, they were filthy, and next I removed the handles. I then took them outside and sprayed both drawers inside and out with this sage green color, and I just did one thicker coat of this. I'm going to be sanding this down so it didn't have to be too perfect. And then once that had dried, I took and I'm going to go over it with a coat of white. Let that dry, and then I did do another coat of white. Once that was all good and dry, I am going to take a good thick coat of Mod Podge and apply all over the bottom of the inside of the drawer, because we are going to decoupage this. And as you can see, my paint isn't perfect on the inside of the drawer. I wasn't too worried about that because I sort of wanted it to look antique-y anyhow. So again, we are just applying a nice thick coat of Mod Podge, and you can use whatever sheen you like. This is the matte Mod Podge, and as you can see, I'm applying it pretty thick. Once the Mod Podge was good and dry, I am going to lay in this tissue paper, and I am going to then I'm trying to fold it so that I can then cut down that edge so that it fits inside the drawer. Now, this didn't fit clear to the edges, so I decided to just place it in the middle. You could try and line them up and do the whole bottom of the drawer, but with the way this is going to be standing, I didn't think that it was going to make that big of a difference. So I'm just going to cut it down to size and then lay it down inside the drawer. And then I'm going to take and cover it with a piece of parchment paper, and we are going to apply this with a mini iron. You could As I'm doing this with the mini iron, I'm like, this is silly. I should have broke out my real iron. It would have went much quicker, but I had my mini iron all heated up, so I did do it this way. So you can use any iron or press or anything that you have. And this just reactivates the Mod Podge, and it really gets you a super nice finish. Next up in our process is to sand. And so I just took one of these sanding blocks that you can pick up at Dollar Tree, or I think I may have gotten this one on Amazon. And I am just going to rough up the paint so that some of the bare wood comes through and some of the green underneath comes through. And this is a messy process, so be prepared for that. Once I had it sanded all to my liking, I'm going to take this polyurethane and go over the tissue paper section. If you get too much, this will bubble up your tissue paper, but don't panic, we're going to fix that. I may have bitten off more than I can chew with a bunch of my projects, so my husband is helping me. And what he is doing here is just drilling some little pilot holes so that we can then screw in the little hooks that will hang our necklaces. Once the pilot holes were drilled, then you can just take your little hooks and screw them in by hand. And by the time I got done with both drawers, I can tell you my little fingers were pretty sore. Next, I screwed back in the handles on each of the drawers. So I am showing you here how it bubbled up. The tissue paper bubbled up after applying that polyurethane, but we are going to fix that. And we are going to do that by going back to our parchment paper and iron method, and we are just going to iron it. And this, again, reactivates all of those glues and gives you a nice smooth finish. So we are going to do that process on both the drawers. And this is sped up significantly. You are really going at a very slow pace. And this is the hardware that I picked out for the drawer. And so again, my husband is helping me, and he is going to drill through the drawer. Now, these screws are too long, and we knew that going in. We looked around and could not find the right size screw. And so my husband said that he would just grind down the screws for me. So normally you would not go all the way through the drawer. If you got the right size screws, you would just do a little pilot hole, but we are going to screw completely through and then take and screw in the little screws that came with the hardware. And so we're applying the hinges here. Okay, so here is the mess of what it looks like when you screw through the side of the drawer. So my husband took his grinder and he ground those down smooth for me. Now, in the process of doing that, it did mess up my paint a little bit. And I apologize, I just did not have time to go back through and get this fixed before this video was due. But basically what I will do to fix it is just add a little bit more white paint, and then I will go back over and sand it again and you won't even see it. But here is what that grinder did to my beautiful work. But it was worth it because I did get the hinges that I wanted. And then same process to just apply the little clasp. And here we go. Here it is all finished and it has some jewelry in it. I just recently started doing vendor events, and so this is what I wanted this for, but this would also be cute just to display your home jewelry. And so here it is set up at my first vendor event. I hope that this inspires you to pick up those old drawers that you see for free on the side of the road or at a garage sale. I appreciate you guys taking the time to watch this video today. I hope you have a wonderful one. Thanks again.